Spokane police must handgun. Oh, there's a call right there. Hold up, watch this. Watch this. Watch this.
This video from 2022 after a man shot a Spokane police officer. Now that man's been sentenced to 65 years in prison. Ray Wynkoop and Isaac Ott were arrested in June of 2022 when they shot Spokane police officer Chris Honecker. Both have extensive criminal backgrounds that include multiple felony convictions. Wynkoop is still facing federal charges for the shooting. Ott's case is set to go to trial on April 22nd.
Acting U.S. Attorney Richard Barker said today that U.S. District Judge Mary Kay Dimk had sentenced 23-year-old Isaac Anthony up to 25 years in prison and 24-year-old Ray Anthony Wynkoop to 30 years in prison for federal narcotics and handgun offenses. Wynkoop and Ott were also given 8 years of supervised release by Judge Dimk. On December 11, 2021, a Spokane Police Department (SPD) officer saw Wynkoop, who was operating a white Dodge Charger without license plates, neglect to utilize a turn signal, according to court documents and information provided during the sentencing hearing. SPD used the patrol car's lights and siren in an attempt to perform a traffic stop. Wynkoop didn't stop. Instead, he started driving erratically, including at high speeds on residential neighborhoods, in an effort to get away from SPD. When the pursuit became too risky, SPD put an end to it. SPD found the Dodge Charger shortly after and saw that vehicle had been in an accident. Wynkoop was taken into custody after attempting to flee the scene. A loaded 9mm pistol with a black laser affixed on the barrel, a backpack with Wynkoop's ID, and 2 additional lasers for the pistol were found by police during a search of the Charger. Inside the car, officers also found a fanny pack with 1 ounce of heroin and pills laced with fentanyl, as well as a .380 semi-automatic handgun. On June 26, 2022, almost 6 months later, Wynkoop was carrying a .22 caliber handgun with a filled drum-style high-capacity magazine inside. Ott had a shotgun in his hands. With these weapons, which neither of them was allowed to own, Wynkoop and Ott carried out a number of drive-by shootings. Wynkoop and Ott purposefully targeted the cops who responded to these shootings during the shooting spree. Ott recorded the 2 defendants as they even waited in wait, searching for a police officer to murder. As soon as an SPD officer passed by, they started chasing after him to carry out their homicidal plan. Wynkoop opened fire on the second officer who rushed to their rescue, wounding him in the head and leg. Fortunately, the officer recovered from his wounds. Detectives found the 2 firearms, a significant amount of spent shot casings, over 10,000 fentanyl pills, a small amount of heroin, and other drug-related materials in the car that Wynkoop and Ott were driving when they were involved in the shooting. In order to support and charge pertinent federal violations, the U.S. Attorney's Office promptly started collaborating with the Spokane Police Department, the Spokane County Sheriff's Office, and the Spokane County Prosecutor's Office. This case emphasizes how crucial those collaborations and the one-team strategy are in combating deliberate violence against the public and law enforcement. In April 2024, Wynkoop received a sentence of almost 65 years in jail in Washington State Court, while Ott received a sentence of 40 years in prison on several offenses related to the shooting. While the state charges were pending, the federal case was filed. Acting U.S. Attorney Richard Barker said, Wynkoop and Ott unlawfully possessed firearms with the express purpose of murdering Spokane police, despite their prior felony convictions. The commitment of federal, state, and local law officers, who risk their lives every day to safeguard communities in eastern Washington, humbles me. We are all grateful to the officers involved in this case, who courageously put their lives in danger to make sure Wynkoop and Ott were held responsible for these heinous crimes. Mr. Ott and Mr. Wynkoop clearly showed that drug trafficking and gun violence are too frequently linked, said David F. Reams, Special Agent in Charge, DA Seattle Field Division. I am happy that the Drug Enforcement Administration, along with our partners in the Spokane Police Department, the Spokane County Sheriff's Office, and the U.S. Attorney's Office, were able to put an end to their violent rampage, as their incarceration undoubtedly makes Spokane a safer place. Preston McCollum, Chief Criminal Deputy for the Spokane County Prosecuting Attorney's Office, said, the Spokane community is a safer place with these 2 behind bars thanks to the prompt and meaningful collaboration of local and federal partners. The deliberate attacks on uniformed Spokane police officers on June 26, 2022, during broad daylight, bring to light the needless acts of violence, gang or otherwise, that are all too common in our community and highlight the obvious and immediate danger that our courageous law enforcement officers face each and every day when they report for duty. All Spokane residents live and work in a dangerous environment due to the easy access to fentanyl and other controlled substances. Our law enforcement officers, who are entrusted with responding to assistance calls every day regardless of the time or location of the call, are acutely aware of this tragic reality. As it happened here, SPD officers were responding to multiple drive-by shootings committed by Ott and Wynkoop in a residential neighborhood when they were purposefully and violently ambushed by the waiting pair, Chief Criminal Deputy McCollum added. Thanks to the dedication and collaboration of the Spokane Police Department, Spokane County Sheriff's Office, Drug Enforcement Administration, United States Attorney's Office, and Spokane County Prosecutor's Office, both involved officers barely avoided fatal outcomes. According to Spokane Police Chief Kevin Hall, the acts of these violent offenders represent the most extreme and calculated threat our officers and community can face. A clear reminder of the threats our officers face on a daily basis is provided by their willful attempt to kill a Spokane police officer while terrorizing neighborhoods with gunshots and trafficking drugs. I am immensely appreciative of our federal, state, and local partners' smooth cooperation and immensely proud of the officers' courage, professionalism, and tenacity. These heavy sentences make it very evident that assaults on police enforcement and threats to our community will be handled with justice and unrelenting resolve. The Spokane Police Department, the Spokane County Sheriff's Office, and the Drug Enforcement Administration all looked into this case. Assistant United States Attorney Stephanie Van Martyr, working with Spokane Prosecutor's Office colleague Preston McCollum, prosecuted this case.